The vendetta being meted out to Republic Media Network, especially by Parambir Singh, Mumbai top cop, has crossed all limits and is plain for everyone to see. Mumbai Crime Branch now wants to know every single trivial, petty transaction of Republic Media Network over the last 4 years. From PCR equipment to stationery, from coffee vending machines to toilet papers, they want accounts of everything. What is shocking is that they've sought these details within 12 hours. So as if the very action of asking of all transactions of a private enterprise wasn't enough, they're also obviously with a clear aim of harassing the Republic Network team, demanding these details of all transactions, all and sundry, in just 12 hours. I'm also joined by editor of Goa Chronicle, Savio Rodriguez is joining us on the show. Kapil Sankla, advocate Supreme Court, is also with us. I want to go across to Kapil Sankla first. Would you describe this as an overreach of Section 91? What is being done by the Mumbai police or the crime branch in this case, seeking details of every transaction in a case supposedly pertaining to TRP manipulation? Of course, we can go to the merits of the case as we have been over the last few days. You must be aware, Kapil, that there is absolutely nothing against Republic TV as far as the preliminary investigations by Hansa or BAC or anybody else is concerned. But what do you make of the Mumbai Crime Branch demanding such exhaustive details of all transactions within 12 hours pertaining to this case?
Before I talk about the law and the legality of the matter, let me tell you something very personal. I think this vendetta politics, I really believe that Mumbai police, and I said this in our channel and some other channel, that the Mumbai police to their master. I think it is extremely unfortunate that the independence of police that has always been questioned and was questioned by your channel in the Sushant case, that they're still the political master, they're still following their diktat, they're still breaking the law, they're still misusing the judicial, their legal process. Now, as far as Section 91 is concerned, it is right that powers of the investigating organization is very wide under 91. But there is a principle called the Wensbury principle, which basically says that an act has to be reasonable. And the test of reasonability is that a reasonable person should think that that act is reasonable. Now, let us test the demand of the police under Section 91 from the channel, that they want wide plethora of documents. It seems to be a fishing and rowing inquiry. They themselves do not know what is going to come out, so they're hoping against hope that they might be able to create a case. And they're giving you very, very little time, 12 hours, to bring those documents and bring those facts before them. So the entire proceeding fails on that test itself. And there's a second part of it, that they have to show that the things or documents that are being demanded under Section 91 are concerning the case, are pertaining to the investigation. And by no stretch of imagination can the TRP case be linked to, say, how many toilet papers you purchased or what were the photocopier costs that you had, etc., etc. So I think police is right at the very back in this as far as law is concerned and as far as their reasonability is concerned. That's my view.
Mrinal Ojha, partner Phoenix Legal, is also joining us. Phoenix Legal has been fighting many of the cases that Republic TV has unfortunately has been brought upon Republic TV. So the courts have also for a second time now, Mrinal, allowed Republic TV to use the Hansa report, which formed the backbone of the FIR in the TRP manipulation case, which has been wrongly, of course, used to target Republic TV. Both the FIR and the Hansa document did not name Republic TV, and the courts have also now said that it is absolutely natural for Republic TV to put this out in public domain because Republic TV was accused publicly as well, and because these documents help Republic TV prove its innocence.
That's absolutely right. Firstly, congratulations to Republic TV, because yet again, the right to use documents such as this, that right has been upheld. It's quite telling actually that Hansa in the first place thought it fit to seek a restraint against Republic TV from using this document. Whether there was some sort of a pressure on them or they did this on their own accord, one doesn't know. But one can't really understand what their reluctance was. And really, the theatre shifts now, because if you see in para 8 of the order, it very clearly recognizes that Republic TV has a right to use this particular report. And the court has also said that it was already in the public domain. So, in which case, how can Hansa seek a blanket injunction order on the basis of some, hypothetical confidentiality concerns that it may have had? And it's about, the report speaks for itself. It doesn't have Republic TV's name in it. Why should that not be out? And why should that not be known to the public at large? The nation certainly wants to know what's the truth behind this.
No, the commissioner himself made it a public matter, right? He came out in public and forced Republic TV to have to defend itself publicly. So naturally speaking, if Republic TV is in possession of something that proves its innocence, it has to use that because it has been publicly accused as well in a very preliminary stage. But Mrinal, I also want to ask you about the questions of the Mumbai police on the source of the report. Because they've been harassing several of our editors to reveal the source of the report.
See, the question with respect to the confidentiality of the source of any journalist, of any reporter, that's sacrosanct, and that's been at the, that's formed the bedrock of journalism through the ages. So that tussle every now and then when somebody wants to stop or wants to harass or wants to find out, where did that report actually originate from in terms of passing it on to the reporter, what was the source, is nothing but a means then to try and target the source and also, put the sources under some sort of pressure. That, look, if you are going to speak to a journalist, it's possible that somebody is going to then come after you because once the source is revealed, then there can be all kinds of pressures on the sources as well. And that's not just legal pressure because, there are all kinds of political pressures and other maybe illegal tactics that can be deployed. That's why you have witness protection programs.
Republic TV has made it very clear they're not going to do that. We have to maintain the sanctity and the confidentiality of our sources. That is, as you said, bedrock of journalism to protect sources as well. The important question here, though, is that the Mumbai police continues to go after the source. And what can be done to stop that kind of harassment?
So I wouldn't say much because of some of these matters are certainly also before the courts, and I wouldn't want to reveal really exactly what kind of because there'll be some thought and legal strategy going behind that. So I wouldn't want to really say too much. But all I can say is that we're very confident, and these kind of orders reinforce the confidence in the judiciary, where that there is a recognition of a fact. At least today there was a recognition, and if I could even just read out that little bit of the order that says that ultimately it's a report that's in the public domain, and it's natural for the media house to use its news channel to defend itself against the charge of manipulation of TRP ratings and disclosing the documents which support their case of innocence. So once that is done, then for somebody to say, okay, you can use the report, but now you tell me what was the source of it, that becomes an immaterial question. Once the court has upheld your right to use this report, where you got it from is immaterial. That's really not in play. The only people who want to bring it in play are the people who then want to target the source. And really, if then they go to court saying that the source must be disclosed, we'll fight it in court. Or if some other pressure is being put on a journalist to disclose the source, it's happened in the past. Journalists have faced the wrath of the authorities where they said that we'll stick to our guns, come what may, and you may put some sort of pressure on us. We'll fight it legally if need be, but we will not disclose our source.
Absolutely. Mrinal, I appreciate you joining us and, of course, clarifying several of those aspects. Welcome back. Within 12 hours, details of all and sundry transactions over the last 4 years have been sought by the crime branch in Mumbai from Republic TV in this so-called TRP manipulation investigation. Savio is also with us. Amitabh Sinha of the BJP is also joining us on the show. Savio, it's gone beyond what anyone could have imagined. But as far as the courts of the land are concerned, they are upholding Republic's right to not just report on what, pokes holes in the entire case of the Mumbai police, but also as far as journalistic freedoms are concerned, and they seem to be the only saviors, at least in Maharashtra for now.
Shivani, the courts are only going to be your savior, because everything that the Mumbai police is doing is raising questions that are legal, and the courts are looking at the spectacle that the Mumbai police, which is an institution that's respected, is actually doing. I mean, it's ridiculous. There's no word to describe what the people of India are thinking about right now. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, what has toilet paper got to do with TRP scam investigation? Did any of the television channels, as way of compensation to people who watch their channels, offer toilet paper? Is that what the Mumbai police is trying to tell the people of the country? I mean, it is shameful. I believe that the Mumbai police has a right to investigate. But this kind of biased investigation, right from the onset, is not investigation. It is nothing but a witch hunt and a mockery of the respectability that the Mumbai police always had and continues to have. It cannot be tolerated, but it's important now for the centre to step in, because the credibility of the Mumbai police is at stake. The credibility of this vicious harassment that's happening to Republic. And if it's happening to one media channel, you can be rest assured something like this will happen in another state to another media channel, because people in power, like the ones currently in power using the police force, will believe that they can make anybody submissive because they have the power with them. And in a democracy, we as citizens of India cannot allow it. So as far as Mr. Parambir Singh and the Mumbai police are concerned with regards to this, that same toilet paper that they want is the reason that Parambir Singh will be flushed down.
As Kapil earlier said, this seems to be a fishing exercise, really, to see what they can get. It perhaps establishes that they don't have anything as of now, because a TRP manipulation case, if they had anything with the kind of wild allegations that were made, is quite a clear-cut case to be made out if they had any proof. Unfortunately, they don't. They're not really going after the real evidence or the real alleged manipulators. Instead, they're trying to conduct this fishing and roving inquiry and a witch hunt against Republic TV. Speaking of the centre, though, we've got a second centre minister now reacting to what has taken place, especially with regards to wide details of transactions being asked by the crime branch. Listen.
महाराष्ट्र की सरकार जिस तरह से सारे मोर्चों पर विफल होती जा रही है और अपनी विफलताओं से ध्यान बटाने के लिए जिस तरह से दमनकारी कृत्य कर रही है, चाहे वो मीडिया के प्रति अगेंस्ट में हो, चाहे एंटरटेनमेंट इंडस्ट्री के अगेंस्ट में हो, जिस तरह से एक भय और दहशत का माहौल फैला बना करके जिस तरह से लोगों को अपनी तरफ मोड़ने या झुकाने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं, ये निश्चित रूप से निंदनीय है। लोकतंत्र में ऐसी चीज़ों का कोई भी स्थान नहीं होना चाहिए और मुझे लगता है कि ये पॉलिटिकल वेंडेटा का जो है सबसे सटीक उदाहरण है जो रिपब्लिक टीवी आज देख रहा है। लेकिन देश की जनता की आवाज़ और देश की जनता की आवाज़ के माध्यम इन दोनों को इस तरह के दमन से दबाया।
All limits have been crossed, really, by the Mumbai police and its so-called crime branch, pretending to probe this TRP case, but actually asking details of every transaction, the most trivial of them also, over the last 4 years. Amitabh Sinha from the BJP, also Supreme Court lawyer, continues to be with us. You were making the point of the police state. Mr. Sinha, there are checks and balances for that. What we've been seeing is naked display of overuse and abuse of power over the last few weeks. So where are the checks and balances? How long can something like this be allowed? People are now also beginning to ask, what about the central government? What about the central government's representative to the state in the governor?
See, there are two aspects you are asking about. Number one, the present condition of Maharashtra government, complete throughout failure of police administration and so on, so many other fronts also, and mishandling of Corona, etc. And number two, the role of governor and role of central government through governor. So governor's role is very limited as far as the constitution allows. And the failure of the state machinery is different and it must be properly evaluated. But the thing here, let me tell you a few facts, because before examining Karamveer Singh's background, he has given a clean chit to Ajit Pawar, who is presently the Deputy Chief Minister and very important position, leader of NCP, which actually is bearing the entire burden of the running of the government on their shoulders, and he gave
I
the clean chit
understand
to
that.
Ajit Pawar. So because NCP also is there, and then because of this, Shiv Sena, few ministers who were involved in this suicide case of Sushant Singh Rajput. So he is there to protect Shiv Sena, NCP, and Congress. All he's actually there to please. So the failure is number one. This police commissioner. As a police commissioner, and second, the complete failure of state machinery. I totally agree with you, but the thing is, the judiciary is playing a very important role these days. So all these facts must be brought before the Supreme Court, and I am sure that the Supreme Court will certainly.
I understand
take
that. Of course, the courts are doing their job, and Republic TV
Yes.
is fighting all of these matters in court. But it is a horror show playing out, really, because the ordinary public
Certainly.
is looking at what is happening, and they're thinking, if this can happen against a media organization, Savio, then you can imagine what the police is capable of. I mean, this is just bringing disrepute to the entire institution across the country and the Indian democracy, for heaven's sake. I understand, Mr. Sinha, what you said, but taking your point forward to Savio, ultimately the buck stops with the Chief Minister. You cannot just say that the commissioner is running amok.
You see, Shivani, what is happening now in Maharashtra is fascism in its real face. This is how a fascist state behaves, where powers take upon themselves to unleash hell on people who seek the truth. So we've been discussing it, people have been making fun of it, but downright at their hearts, there is a fear that is going into the people of India, more particularly the people in Maharashtra, that there is absolutely a destruction of democracy in Maharashtra. And people are wondering, why is the center not acting? Why is the representative of the center, the governor, not stepping in? Because if you continue with this harassment, you continue with this victimization, you continue with this witch hunt, Shivani, people are going to lose faith in the system. Because if they can do it to Republic, then the common man is saying, we are nobodies. We are just average common people. We would be crushed if they can crush a republic like television channel.
No, what is democracy at its very core, Savio?
The common man
we as journalists, of course, are fighting as journalists as well, and of course for journalistic freedom. But for everyone, all citizens concerned, what is democracy at its very core? The freedom to speak your mind. And Kapil, if that itself is under danger in Maharashtra, not just with respect to what's happening against Republic TV, but we've seen multiple cases of that playing out under this new government. So democracy is in danger, and we cannot just say let the courts handle, isn't it? That seems a little bit, it just seems like people are washing their hands off.
Passing the buck, so to say. Can I say something right now?
Kapil, can you hear me? Please go ahead.
Yes, all right. You see, what is happening is, one, there seems to be passing of buck. Nobody really wants to, do something about this. And the easiest thing is to say that the judiciary is going to take its own course. But the fact is that this is political battlefield. This is political warfare, and politics has to come in to protect not just Republic TV, but media in general. And in the media itself, as an industry, as an organization, has to get together now. I mean, there might be battles, there might be fights and skirmishes in the family, but the family has to get together, because it could be Republic today and it could be XYZ tomorrow. And you cannot be working at the behest of the police, because then you're not really doing your job. I mean, most of these cases in today's date that have been solved, that have been resolved, were when the police was trying to brush it under the carpet, and it was the media that brought it to the limelight, brought it to the fore, and fought it out in public forum, and basically managed to get the police, the courts to take notice of the same. That is one part. There is another thing that somebody had said, that pertaining to the factum that the police is demanding to know where the documents that have been used by Republic TV has come from. Now, let me tell you this, because I have fought this in court in previous occasions, that there is a landmark judgment of, I think, Zee News, where the court, Delhi High Court, had demanded that certain information be disclosed by the journalist. What was argued in that was that the right, that your right comes under Section 15(2) of the Press Council Act, and that is what helps you protect your source. The only judgment that is you predominantly is, in that case, certain allegations were made against a particular person, and that encroached upon his fundamental right of fair trial. And so, therefore, this case is way different from the previous case, which goes against the press freedom. That is the second aspect.
Republic TV is using that Hansa report to actually hit back at the allegations that have been made against Republic TV. So it's a very different case altogether. And the court has already said that Republic TV can use that report if it helps in proving its innocence, because the charge was made publicly, and obviously the only means left to fight sometimes is to put that report in public domain. I've run out of time. I do thank all of you gentlemen for joining us. Certainly a lot of overarching and larger questions that are emanating out of Maharashtra, out of the behavior of the Mumbai Police Commissioner and the crime branch, the abuse of the investigating powers. We'll stay with this and keep getting you more in just a bit.